Welcome to Behind the Scenes with Music and the Spoken Word. I'm Derrick Porter, and today we are taking you literally backstage into the heartbeat of how the Tabernacle Choir's Christmas concert is created. I'm standing here in the choir loft with what will soon be a most awesome view, viewing 21,000 seats and spectators who will be watching the Christmas concerts this season each night. Every December, audiences see a spectacular production filled with music, light, artistry, and emotion. But what they don't necessarily see is the remarkable team behind it all. The designers, directors, costumers, camera operators, producers, and stage leaders who work for months to bring this beloved experience to life. Today, we'll talk with several of those key individuals. You'll hear how ideas become reality, how cues are called, how camera angles are chosen, how costumes are crafted, and how a production of this scale comes together with precision, creativity, and purpose. And what's more, almost this same set of operations occurs each week as we broadcast music and the spoken word to the world. Let's now step behind the curtain and meet the people who help create the magic of Christmas with the Tabernacle Choir. First off, I'm here joined by Phyllis Schrey, production stage manager for the annual Tabernacle Choir Christmas concert. Phyllis has, in my opinion, one of the most challenging and complex jobs that there could be. Tell us what it is that you do, Phyllis.
So the main thing that I do is I call all of the cues, video, lighting cues, actor entrances, all those sorts of things to during the show.
So you're sitting there with a headphone,
With headset,
and you are reading along, whether it's music or script.
Correct.
And then saying, go now, go now,
Yep.
go now.
Video go, lighting go. Yeah.
I mean, that
Bells go.
is really incredible. Do you ever find yourself struggling, or wait a minute, where was I and how do I get there? Or have you developed a system by now to just stay right on track and tune?
So I do have a music reader.
Okay.
So Mary is my music reader, and she can follow the score. She keeps the score, and so that I can read all the other stuff, all the words that I have to say to follow spots to everybody.
The timing really matters.
Yes.
Like really, really matters.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you develop cues that work musically and with action. And so once you set that cue, you want to do it that way every time.
Yeah.
Because that's part of sort of the lyrical quality of the piece.
Yeah. How do you stay calm when something breaks, or when it doesn't go right, or when some variable has come in? What do you do?
I have a lot of experience in that sort of realm. I've done huge shows in Las Vegas, and I opened O, which was the biggest show I think I've ever done. And in the beginning, a lot of things broke constantly. And I just learned to sort of step back, have that sort of part of my brain, have this show keep going, and the other part of my brain thinking of all the contingencies. And it's just, I don't know, just developed over time.
Well, it's really impressive. What keeps you coming back year after year to join us? You don't live here in Salt Lake City. You come from the East Coast.
Yes.
But you're here, and then you do the music and spoken word broadcast on Sunday mornings when you're here as well. Why do you keep coming back and doing this? What's about it?
I do love Christmas. And I have to say, I said this to my husband today. If you love Christmas and you believe that it's about Christ's birth, this is where you need to be. Because that's the emphasis.
Yeah. Phyllis, thank you so much. We're so grateful for everything that you do for us here.
Oh, you're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Next up, we're here with Aaron Coble, who is the monitor engineer for the Christmas concert, as well as for many of the weekly music and the spoken word broadcasts. Now, Aaron, explain for us exactly what is it that a monitor engineer is doing during any live concert or broadcast?
Perfect. So what the monitor engineer does, if you're looking up on stage and you see speakers that are on stage that are facing the artist, or a lot of these artists now have these little headphones in these little inner monitors. So what I do is I control what they hear, which is completely different than what the audience hears. And so a lot of the times you'll have a member of the orchestra up there, and Mac wants to hear something completely different than what the bass section hears or what the piano player hears. They all want to hear something different. And so I help to interpret what they want to hear, where it's best for them, to where if the piano player needs more percussion so they can stay on time, well, that's different than what the violins or the violas need. So I'm constantly doing a different mix. And so I'm mixing for about 20, 30 different people up there that all have 20, 30 different opinions. And it's great. It's not a headache. It's a lot of fun. And, it's just a challenge. It's a challenge every week, but it's super fun.
Now, Aaron, this means you're blending technical expertise with some human insight. How do you balance the needs of the choir, the orchestra, soloists, when each performer relies on something different that they need to hear in the mix that is playing before them?
So a lot of it has to do with the relationship of who the artist is, or even who is listening to the monitors, you know. So we have a great relationship between me and Mac and Ryan, and so that's really good to have that up front. And they're not afraid to ask for something or saying, hey, it doesn't sound right, or this doesn't sound great, or can we maybe have a little bit more of this? And then the same thing with the rest of the artists on stage. And so we treat everybody the same. We would treat Mac and Ryan the same as we would treat like the piano player or the organ player or anything like that. So everybody has the opportunity, and it's so important for them to feel that they're heard, that they're that what they're doing and what they're playing is important. It's a very integral part to the broadcast and also to the spoken word. And so we want to make sure that they can hear and that they're comfortable on stage. So all they have to worry about is just playing, and they don't have to worry about, is this going to work? Does it sound right? Does it do this? And so we just try to make a comfort level great for everybody on stage.
So what's your favorite part of being in the middle of all the behind the scenes work going on?
Do you know what? In my career, I've really grown up as being the guy that had the answers when everything would go wrong. And sometimes that's a plus, sometimes that's a minus. And so I love being in the chaos of it, where you're kind of controlling this orchestra of microphones and mixes and personalities and people and crew. And so I really like being in the middle of that. And I always feel like I'm the guy that's got the plan, and the plan's going to work. And I would say 90% of the time it always does work. And the 10% that doesn't, that's when I rely on my other guys and say, hey, I've gone as far as I can. You know, what can we do from here?
Very good. What's one thing that your coworkers don't know about you?
Oh,
What's
my
one
gosh.
thing that would surprise your coworkers? This isn't going to be on the podcast, but we might use it for some other way.
I think what a lot of people, they don't understand how much I love doing this. It's amazing. I mean, if you look at what we do and the people, golly, I just got emotional over it.
It's awesome. It's wonderful. It's the way you feel inside. I love it.
Yeah. No, I think it's just neat how many people we can affect. It's like we go on tour, and you see so many people that it's like their only opportunity to see the choir, and it's just like we're bringing something to these people that have never got this opportunity. Like I remember down in Argentina, there was a lady, she had to have been 80, 90 years old, and it was her dream, like just to see it, just to be in the same room at the same time, and then just to be a part of that. I mean, that's pretty amazing. So I think that was big. I mean, I think everybody knows that I can do a pretty solid cartwheel. I've done a couple of those on stage, but it's never been recorded. But man, I'm just telling you, the passion and the love, it's just like this is what we were born to do. This is what I love to do. And I would not change it for the world.
Love it. Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks, Derrick. Appreciate you.
Good work. Next up, we're here in one of the dressing rooms with a good friend of mine, Sue Allred, who is the head costume designer for the Christmas concert. Now, Sue, you have a most amazing job of hand making very often these gowns and suits and dresses and things that are worn by our guest artists, which I can only imagine is an enormous amount of detailed artistry and work. How do you even begin designing something that matches and looks and feels to the music and the lyrics and the things that are being talked about?
The most important thing is David tells me his concept, and we usually get a color palette. And then I just start kind of imagining things that might look good there. I did line drawings, which is just a pencil sketch, and then I showed those to him, and then I painted them in the color palettes that would work with the show. Then me and two of my crew went to Los Angeles, had a great time shopping at the nice stores down there, and found fabrics. And then we come back and start to create, which is like a puzzle. I mean, you have measurements, but you don't even sometimes have full measurement sheet. And we prepare it. And in this case, we prepared it. Monday, we fit her. We worked overnight. We fit her again yesterday, and we'll do a final fitting today.
Wow.
So it's a huge turnaround. But it's really fulfilling because you get to see your hard work come to fruition.
So you're here from fabric selection to fabric fitting. You're designing it. You're literally drawing it, painting it, showing these concepts. How does it feel when you sit out in the audience and you look up there at the stage and you look at the magnificent work that has been done and is being worn by many different individuals?
I dare say there's not a dress rehearsal that myself and even my crew aren't in tears almost. Because when you create something, you give it away. So it's not like it's yours. And then all of a sudden you see it fulfilled on stage, and it's magical. And it's an out-of-body experience. And it's actually spiritual. That's why I love this show so much.
Well, I've watched what you do each week. We're on set together whenever we film music in the spoken word, and often on Sundays. And you'll look and see what this background in the world is looking like. And then you'll come and say, you know, Derrick, I suggest that you ought to have this kind of a suit or this kind of a tie. And there's times where I'm like, really? And then I put that on and I start getting these comments from other people. For the record, I wish I could take credit for any of that, but I can't. 100% of that is due to my good friend, Sue. Sue, thank you so much for being here with us today, and good luck at the concert here later this week.
Thank you.
Next up, I'm here with Jana Larson, who has a most unique title, Hairdresser to the Headliner. I got to figure out how to get a hairdresser to the headliner at home. I don't know if it's possible or not, but Jana, you and I have had opportunity to work together for a long time now, and you get to do the hair for our guest artists that come in. Tell us what that's like and how you help ensure that they feel comfortable and ready to come out on stage and meet the masses here in the conference center.
Well, that's such a good question for people who do hair and makeup, because our main goal is to help people feel comfortable. We want them to feel confident, let them know that we're the one who's watching them, make sure that they understand that we have their best, their best at heart. And it's super fun for me to see how people, when they come into this job, my first conversation with them, very often they're sort of thinking about it more of like just another gig, another concert. And it's so much fun to watch the change in demeanor and how much they start to really love us. And within like a day or so, they're like, this is so much fun, and these people are so nice, and I'm having such a great time. And by Sunday, they don't want to leave. And it's one of my favorite things to watch, is that sort of arc of kind of changing from this is just a gig to this is a really cool gig, and I don't want to leave.
I've sat in enough chairs now, watching this happen and having it happen. Hairdressers are like a really good therapist. You get into all sorts of amazing and interesting conversations and play a great role in helping to ensure you're oftentimes the last person this person may see before they go out on stage. How do you help ensure that you are doing your part to help prepare them for the majesty of the moment that will soon be forthcoming?
Well, the first thing is trust. You want to make sure that they trust that your skill is in their best interest, right? Like, let me let you know what my experience of what things look like on camera and how we need to match and things like that. And then once you kind of talk to them about, what is it that you want? How can I get what I need to give the production at the same time as have you be happy with it? And then I have to say, honestly, I'm just really genuinely complimentary. Like, I'm always making sure that people know our audience is going to love them. You're going to feel really warm in this great big room, and we love you.
Yeah. What's your favorite moment when working with these headliners? Does it come before the show, after the show, during the show? What's that favorite moment for you?
Maybe Sunday morning.
Yeah. when Saturday night's over.
Yeah. Well, I actually really enjoy all the big long days, the Friday and the Saturday. I like the hurry and rush. I love live theater for anything. I have a theater degree. I've done it for years and years. I love live theater. The reason why I say Sunday morning is when we present them with our thanks.
Yeah, at the end of music and spoken word.
Yeah. We present them with our thanks, and it's so much fun to just watch the Jumbotron and the tears streaming and just kind of the warmth. And I think that the music and the spoken word Christmas concert audience really get a special thing, even though they don't have the whole concert.
Yeah.
And maybe another reason why Sunday morning is my favorite is because Sunday afternoon I go home and crash.
And it's well deserved for all the amazing things you do. Thank you to you, your team, and others that you work with.
Yeah, it does take our team for sure. I really appreciate our talented team.
Oh, they're amazing. Thank you so much, Jana.
Thanks, Derrick.
Next up, we're here with Isaac Geckeritz, a good friend, and the director of photography for many of the music and spoken word broadcasts and contributing here at the Christmas concert this year. Isaac, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
You are there behind the camera, capturing meaningful moments, moments that matter, and ensuring that they are seen and felt and received by those at home. What goes through your mind as you're surveying a world of things that you could capture? How do you hone in on what you think is going to translate the best?
I think it's just an interest inside of me. I find this all interesting. So it's not super hard to find interest in. So I'll come here a couple hours early. I film the set. I kind of film the dancers. I think some people might be annoyed a little bit that I'm in their face the whole time, but it's not too difficult just because I enjoy everything that's happening here.
So as you're driving down the road, as you're coming early, as you're just out in the world and you're seeing the world, does that feed inspiration to you as to how you might capture something? Because really, in a way, you're a storyteller.
Yeah.
And you're responsible for telling the story of the person telling the story.
Yeah.
And without you, it doesn't come across.
Yeah.
How do you view the world?
My wife tells people that I collect people. And what she means by that is that I'm just very interested in what people do. I'm interested in their stories. I'm not afraid if I find something you do interesting in your job or your hobby to reach out and say, hey, can I do a short documentary on you? So I've got 4 or 5 projects I'm doing right now just on people or stories that I find interesting. So I just like that way of telling stories. And so coming here and being able to each year tell several behind the scenes stories from the perspective of an artist or a technical person, it's just a lot of fun.
Well, we've been on set together dozens of times over the last 18 or so months. We've traveled internationally together as the choir's been on tour, and you've been in some pretty magical and amazing moments.
Yeah.
Do you ever find yourself behind the camera there saying, wow, I am so glad that I'm here and I get to experience this in the way that I get to experience it? Anything come to mind?
Well, there's definitely, it's impressive. Yeah, the places you can go if you can operate a camera, I guess, or I'm impressed that people let me go to places. But yeah, it's just being here at the Christmas concert, being able to be behind the scenes as these guest artists come for the first time, and David, our director, is giving them instruction, and I'm just right there. I mean, as close as we are right now, I'm just right in there with my camera, and so it's really just a learning experience. It's just always learning, and I love it.
Well, you do a great job. Real quick, tell us about the equipment. So when you're there on set with us, for those at home, Isaac is carrying, he's got this rig on him. He's got this thing over the top. It's got a camera holding on it. There's a teleprompter on it, all these gadgets. How heavy is that? I mean, this is actually a fairly physical job that you've got to be doing on your feet all the time.
I kind of as soon as gimbals kind of became a thing, I just liked that smooth motion. I like to be able to be just active and get a shot from where I wanted. So yeah, this is kind of a harness that I wear. This is kind of the lighter harness. So the camera that I'm shooting on is just a small camera, but yeah, it may be 20, 30 pounds. When we do our spoken word episodes, the camera has a prompter on it. I've got this kind of weird apparatus that holds the camera over the front. And so it's exhausting after a day, but it's worth it to get the footage we do.
Well, you do a great job. Thanks for all of your contribution. And you represent many others that do a similar thing for us. And we're so grateful for everything that you do in helping to tell the story of the one telling the story and helping that be carried through to all of our viewers around the world. Thanks again.
You're welcome.
Our next stop is here on stage where it all happens. We're with Elliot York, a camera operator, and I have been watching Elliot nearly every Sunday running up and down the pews in and out and through the orchestra, burning, I hope you track them, but you've got to burn 1,000 calories per show.
I don't track calories, but I do track miles. Normally by the end of the day, it's probably 1.5 miles
That you have walked.
that I've walked
or
run,
ran.
or ninja'd around.
And ninja may be the right word. I'm always amazed watching what you do. Tell us what that's like and experience. How heavy is this thing, first off?
It's in the like 25 pound
I don't even know
range.
if you dare let me hold it in case I drop it because it's so heavy. So 25-ish pounds.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Like I worked with cinema cameras that are also like way heavier than this. Like I had one that I was running with it because I had an idea for a shot, and then I got to where I was going and I was like, I don't even remember the shot because it's so heavy. So
you're lugging this thing around. How do you get the cues? How do you know where to go? And how do you stay hidden? Because other times I've literally watched you go and hit the deck.
Yeah.
And to miss another camera shot coming.
Yeah. So it all comes down to this is my shot sheet.
Okay. It's like what a quarterback wears.
Yeah. I do that because I used to just wrap them around my wrist and I would sweat through them.
No kidding.
And so this keeps it nice and dry and in a good orientation for me. But it literally just lists what the shot number is, what they want to see, how long the shot is, and how long I have to get to that shot. So that determines if I'm ducking or not. And then I just communicate to the other camera operators, or the director will let me know a wide shot's coming up. So I make sure that if I'm going to be seen, I'm behind something. So it's just a little bit of a dance and a coordination between the director, me, and the other operators.
I'd say it's a big dance and a big coordination. What's happening there when you're around and capturing these moments, you're in the middle of it. You can hear the choir singing. You can hear the orchestra. You can see Mac. You're right there. Have you ever had one of those moments, even though it's hectic and chaotic and timely, where you feel something of saying, wow, look at where I get to be and look what I'm literally in the middle of?
Yeah, it literally depends on the show, because typically what I feel is the tempo of the song, because that's what I'm trying to match. So if I'm shooting, it's like, all right, this is the word or the phrase that they're saying, and I'm moving with the speed of the music. But a lot of times, especially nowadays, I don't have time to really listen, because sometimes I have
so
4 to 5 seconds in between a shot.
Yeah.
And those are the really quick ones, but I'm running from one place to another. Every once in a while during the spoken word itself, or if there's a song that's heavy choir and I'm in the orchestra, I get to sit down and listen for a little bit. And I've had days where like it's been what I needed to hear that day. Yeah. But again, it's such a busy thing that like, you're rushing through it in so many ways. And so you don't always think about where you're at and what a cool opportunity it is. Cause it's a really different show. Like sports, you follow the ball. Yeah. There's a lot of live events where we fly by the seat of our pants and it's the first time we're seeing it and we just make it up as we go, where this is so timed out that like knowing how the show is going to go to the second essentially is really different than a lot of other shows.
And really only having one rehearsal to even practice that once at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, we are so grateful for all that you do for us. Thanks for your contribution. Thanks for that good work. And I really do think we should put a Fitbit or an Apple Watch on you just one of these days and see how many calories it is that you burn, because there's maybe nobody working harder physically up there on stage than you and your team.
Thank you.
Thanks very much for being with us. Next up, we're here in the media room, deep in the heart of the conference center, with Brad Christensen and his team, who are managing all of the projections on the wall. Now, this is a big project that we're doing here, 30 different projectors, tons of lumens, shining on the pipes, on the
just
set,
about everywhere,
the walls, just about everywhere. Tell us what it is that you do and how you and your team that you work with here do it.
So I'm the media server operator, and honestly, the content comes to me last. There's a lot of things that have to happen before that. So we have, like you said, 30 projectors. In the corner of the room, we have our projectionist. His job is to align, aim, and focus all those projectors. They all blend together into an image that doesn't look muddy. So his job is to set all of that up, and it was quite the chore. And then we actually have our content and creation team here, and they are working nonstop to put up and create the scenes, the vision that we want. And as we do it, it's kind of trial and error, because it's not a flat surface. So we put things up that we think are going to look amazing, and they don't look quite right, and they go to work adjusting things and placing things on all the different elements. And then once they've created all that content, my job is to just feed it through the machine that tells each image where to be. So,
Wow.
if it belongs behind the organ or on the walls, I tell it what piece goes where and push play.
Well, I know this is a super complex task that you all are involved in. We watched this a little bit with the 5,000th broadcast of Music in the Spoken Word, where we did a little bit of projection. But here it's a whole new story today. How many lumens maybe are coming out of these projectors and onto the walls? I know it's a lot. What do you think?
I don't know the answer to that.
900,000, about a million.
About a million lumens. And this is really unprecedented for the Tabernacle Choir's Christmas concert, or anything that we've done here on Temple Square, to have that many lumens coming out at once. I mean, that's a really big deal.
It is a big deal. We are just excited that we get to be part of something bigger than almost any of us have done. We've done big projects and we're grateful to be part of those, but this one is different. It's theatrical. It's in this amazing space, no pillars, nothing in the way, and we could just turn the entire room into a canvas and go to work. So it's just completely different than anything we get to do all year. And to get it to work in a space like this, we needed a lot of power, a lot of light. So,
well, we're really grateful. The impact that you all are going to make on the concert this weekend and on our broadcast Sunday morning for Music in the Spoken Word is going to be seen by all. And so thanks to each of you and your team and the many, many long hours that you're putting together here to bring this about. We're very appreciative.
We're just happy to be part of it.
Awesome.
Good.
Cool. Thank you for joining us for this behind-the-scenes look at the Tabernacle Choir's Christmas concert. These remarkable individuals, designers, directors, costumers, operators, producers, are the unseen artisans who help transform music into an experience of light, joy, and spirit. And they each represent dozens more. To each of them, we are grateful for their dedication and for the chance to share their stories with you. Each week, they're here, ensuring that the music and messages of the Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square continue to be heard throughout the world. Until next time, may peace be with you, this day and always.